Yo, you know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 536. Yeah, it's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. And I'll tell you what you get from this podcast that you might not get from other podcasts. And I'm not trying to brag. Okay. But I mean, come on, baby. It's Christmas, man. Everybody take it off. We don't take off to our own chagrin.
Our wives are fuming right now, but it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No. We probably should take off and just to, I don't know, get everybody's heart ready. There might come a time where we have to miss a week.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be this week, baby.
That's right.
We here for Christmas, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
yeah, man.
Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Yule, Happy Winter. Today is Winter Solstice.
Winter Solstice
or was that yesterday?
Day. Today.
Was today Winter Solstice or yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, the
21st.
darkest day of the year. And so here's something encouraging.
Ooh.
From here on,
yes,
it's just more light and more light and more light. It don't get no darker than it does today. And so more light from here on out. So hopefully we can carry that energy into 2023. Yep. More light.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
More love, more peace. I'm all about it today. I'm a little turned up today. So y'all,
Hey, that's
y'all
great.
might have to just deal with me.
Go.
I'll take it.
I'm
take it.
I'm a little turned up.
Take it. Take it to the house, man. Let's go.
Tim Router.
Yes. How are you?
What has
Besides
been going
full
on?
of light and cheer.
Listen, I'm turned up right now.
That's awesome.
All the way turned up.
That's awesome. That's so great. Man, been good. It has been a really busy week. I am in the cave. I'm back in the cave. Lauren's got a huge order for Altered
What's
State.
that mean? Oh, back in the factory.
Back in the sweatshop is. I think we call it. We're calling it the cave now, but it's the sweatshop. So
Yes.
I've been packaging about 1,200 glass muggy things and packaging them up, and Lauren is throwing them in and
Not
getting
the
them all
muggy
together.
things.
The muggy things. But it's actually been fun. We have a TV in there. We've been watching Christmas movies, and so yeah. And so hopefully by the morning this order is done, and she'll get routing, and hopefully the truck will come on Friday, pick it all up, and then we can actually have Christmas, which would be amazing.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's been super busy. Work for me, it has definitely slowed down. It slowed down last week, really. And Piper's last day of school was on Friday, so she's been running around. There have been lots of sleepovers and all kinds of fun stuff. We went and saw Avatar this weekend, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And
is it going to make its money back?
One?
It's as good as the first one.
There's a ringing endorsement. I will not be watching.
No, somebody said, one of my buddies told me, it seems like James Cameron is following Kevin Costner movies, because we started with Dances with Wolves, and now we're going into Waterworld. And I was
that's what my mom said too. She's like, haven't we seen this movie before?
Listen,
It called
it's not
Pocahontas the first time around.
It is not this is nothing earth shattering. It's great effects, great creatures. It's just a good 3.5 hours, but it's still good. And it went by fast.
This guy.
I went with 3 other girls, with Piper and 2 of her friends and Lauren, and everybody had a ball. And so that's all that mattered to me. It was great. We all had a good time. And I didn't mind it. So it was good. I'll take it.
I didn't mind
Do you mind anything though, Router? I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I mind some
other than
things.
moving. I think that's the only thing I've ever heard you sound vitriolic about ever.
I can't stand moving. So here's the thing. I really thought that this was going to be terrible. I'm like, why are we doing an Avatar 14 years after the original? It's like, what's the point? Oh, good. We're going into water now. So what is James Cameron going to pull out of his hat?
Yeah.
He hasn't pulled anything new out of his hat other than it's kind of like Star Wars. Hold up. Hang on. In that it's like he made new creatures in different water creatures and different sounds, which is what Lucas wanted to do in the first 3. And it's basically that. So
He spent 14 years looking in that hat, and that's what he found?
That's exactly what he found.
Jeez.
I would probably like to see
titanium
it.
is what they're looking for under the water.
That's
so
right.
Hard to get him.
Hard to get him.
Yeah, where did I put him?
And there's no Jar Jar Binks in this one either, so that's good.
This was called finger snaps. Where did I put that?
What do you call it?
Yeah.
No, so
James Cameron presents Did You Check Between the Couch Cushions?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I like it.
Yeah, so I mean it was cool. We had the Router family Christmas on Sunday, so it was great to be with my brother and sister-in-law and my nieces and nephews, and that was fun. I got to take my parents are heading off to Wilmington, Delaware to see my aunt. They do that every year, so I'm taking them to the airport in the morning when tomorrow we're supposed to get these sub-freezing temperatures and this big old whatever's coming.
Too?
Oh yeah, it's coming our way. And
Well, it's going to hit us first and then hit y'all. Probably.
Yeah, grab the milk and bread, everybody, because it's just going to rain and then switch to sleet, and that's probably it.
Grab the toilet paper all up.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, so that's been pretty much it. I was watched a great World Cup game on Sunday. That was incredible.
Yo, what the heck?
Really loved that game. Really wanted France to win, but really happy for Lionel Messi. He finally
Did you? I wanted Argentina. I was happy with either one.
Yeah.
I was like, if Mbappe gets it,
yes,
that's an amazing story.
That is huge.
And to cap off his career, Messi, he's not going to be at another World Cup.
I would have hated it for Messi because he's been in that situation before and lost to Germany and what was in Brazil.
Well, and lost to. I mean, wasn't this a rematch of last year? Wasn't last year? Last time was France and Argentina.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a great game. Like we watched
I'll look it up while you're talking.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is insane!" And it was one of the best World Cup games I've watched. And I watched a lot of the matches this year, which was
it's France Croatia. Sorry.
There it is.
That's why, because there was talks of there maybe being only the second repeat, rematch because Croatia was almost in it again this year.
Yep.
Sorry,
who knew?
Sorry.
So watched a great game there. On a little downer note, I was really, really bummed to hear about Twitch and that whole incident that happened last week. It feels like forever since I've talked to you guys. I mean, I know we kind of perked up a little bit when that happened, but it's just gut-wrenching. And
Twitch, the DJ from the Ellen Show,
that's
and
right.
the dancer from So You Think You Can Dance.
Yep.
And he's all over socials, and
That's
that was really sad.
Yeah, it was sad. So on the gaming front, because of these kids in their sleepovers and stuff, they're cutting into my gaming time, so I didn't get a whole lot of gaming in, but I'm really trying to progress through God of War now. Loving it. Just it's nice to be back in that whole world. And I'm going to Nifarskaski or whatever. I don't even know, some land of some sort, and off we go. I'm in a boat right now, so that's where I'm at. But it's great, and it's weird getting back into the controls. I'm not the best parrier, so I like to dodge, and in Elden Ring, that's all I did. I dodged, and when a lot of the dodging I did was dodging into the enemy, and that the enemy would miss. That is not the case in God of War. You have to dodge back, and so I'm like, just my Twitch response is to move forward, and then I'm getting popped, and so I'm like, oh nope, got to reverse. But
well, because in Elden Ring's dodge, you're actually like, and I'm probably wrong about this, but like to my memory and kind of to what you're saying, when you would dodge in Elden Ring, you're actually like immune for a split second. Yeah. Like you can kind of dodge whichever way. Right. Yeah. Where in God of War, it feels like you really have to dodge out of the way.
Yes. You have to go out. And a lot of the times, like in Elden Ring with like the Gilded Knights and that kind of stuff, because they're doing a lot of swinging, you can go into that and it misses. And then you can pop them one and then back off. But in God of War, I'm just like, boom, in, pop, whoops, got to come back out. Where's the health? Run around, get the health, boom, here we go, and off we go. So, but it's great.
Do you feel like what we were saying about not feeling like super strong as Kratos at the beginning of the game? You're you're supposed to be this god killer, and here like these little grubs are taking you down. You're like, hold on a second.
It's weird. I do a lot of light attacks over and over and over, and then I'll hit with a heavy. But I've been doing mostly light attacks, and I feel really torn because I feel like the axe is a little bit more powerful right now, but then you still have to use the other one too. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to upgrade them both. So I'm just trying to go and get XP and upgrade both of them. But the axe in the first one was my go-to anyway. And I love the mess out of that thing. So it's great to see that whoop, come right back. Oh, it's just, it's so much fun being back into it. So I'm excited. Hopefully I will definitely get some more time to game once this weekend rolls around. But Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody. I'm so excited I can't believe we're here already. This Sunday is Christmas and we're at the end of the year before you know it. So that is it for me. Oh, and Marvel Snap.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I wanted to mention, too, this is because it's our Christmas episode. It's the one episode so far nowadays, a year, where we put the whole thing video on YouTube. So you'll probably hearing a lot of sniffs and coughs. All the stuff that we usually take out of the audio will probably just be in there because it is the live episode, baby. So if you're sitting there like, oh, I could watch this whole thing. Yeah, you can go watch this whole thing over at youtube.com/married to the games. Christmas episode.
There you go.
Hi. Yeah, good.
And I'll be drinking a refreshing Canada Dry ginger ale.
Yeah, and I'm drinking some sort of tea from my Yeti mug.
Well, I'm drinking a throat coat.
Oh,
excellent.
Mine's similar to that.
I just have water.
Nice.
I also have water.
Yeah, I got a rock.
Ooh, nice, Gabe.
Chris McCracken. What a do that baby.
You got eggs
So
with that
kind
water?
of like Router, last Saturday I had usually the Saturday before the weekend or week of Christmas is when my grandfather tries to host all of our uncles and cousins and as many people that can show up, because a lot of people work over the weekends or whatever. So whoever can show up, that's when they try to have it. And Stacy and I were trying to think back, and I don't remember all the circumstance surrounding it, but we haven't been to this in probably 3 maybe more years.
Really?
So I was going to go out there, but the issue was Stacy was still out of town and she's supposed to fly in on Saturday.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, they say that people can show up as early as 10. That's like when they're like, get here as early as 10 if you want. But most people aren't showing up till closer to noon. Thus they're having lunch at 1, which is kind of late, but that gives most people the time to get there. So I'm like, well, she's supposed to land at 11:45, so I'll get there at 10 and just hang out for like an hour and a half and leave. And I may just be me and my grandfather. There may not be anybody else there really, because that's just really super early. Like basically nobody shows up that early, even though the door is open to whoever wants to show up.
Yeah.
And Stacy has a really early flight because she's flying out of, I don't know which airport, but one of the ones out in Boston. If there's more than one, I don't know if there is or not. And she messages me at 7 a.m. my time, saying her normal message where she's like, I'm getting on the plane, heading out, just letting me know that she's getting out of there. And then a little bit later, I'd say, I don't know, 15 minutes, she's like, well, maybe we're still sitting on the tarmac. Now, she knew there was going to be, there was the potential for delays or something because there was supposed to be like a snowstorm coming in. But apparently that snowstorm got pushed to a little bit later in the morning. And then turns out she messages me, maybe let's say 20 minutes later, and they're going back to the gate because there's some mechanical issue with the plane.
Oh, man.
So she gets off of the plane.
That's frustrating.
She lets me know, she's like, look, I just want you to be prepared, like with the weather and stuff coming in. It's possible my flight's going to be way later today. It could even get pushed to tomorrow. I just don't really know. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I'll just keep me updated with what's going on. She ends up messaging me back, and they're going to get her on a flight. She can't. They did try to book a different flight, but there's no other ones. So that were around that same time frame. So the next flight was I think it was at 1. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to the Christmas thing, and I'll just stay longer than I anticipated, and I'll get to see more people, and that's how. I'll just be waiting there because it's over kind of by the airport. I'll just go from there to go pick you up. Fast forward, been spending time with family, eating lunch and everything, all that stuff's been great. And then I get a message from her. She's like, okay, the plane arrived. We're boarding now. She's boarding. Okay. She's getting up there, and she's with like 5 other people, all going back to Dallas. And then 15 minutes later, she's like, they just told us that the pilots on this plane are out of time.
Oh,
and so they're getting
man.
other pilots. So we're being delayed a little bit. She's on the plane. All
you
of
gotta
them
be
are.
kidding me.
Everybody's
they
on
should
the
have
plane.
known already.
15, 20-ish minutes later, we're getting off the plane. They don't have a pilot for us.
Oh my gosh, poor Stacy. That is
So then
worst.
they
Never
go
heard of
back,
that.
and at this point, we're just assuming it's going to get pushed to the following day. But ends up there was indeed another. They had to, because they didn't have other pilots there. They had to drive, or however they got them there, pilots from a different area to come over to fly this plane. She ends up flying out at like 7 p.m. or something, or something like that. It ends up landing just a little after midnight. So she had been at the airport since 5:30 and was getting at the Dallas airport at midnight.
Jeez.
So she had a heck of a rough day. I had a great time with family, so that was a bonus for me.
That's good. There you go.
I was
But
great.
She had a horrible. I mean, granted, it was really great that she was with her team because they could at least all keep each other company and make the best of a situation. If she was completely by herself, that would have been the absolute worst. But luckily, she did have some other people there to kind of help kill time with and everything like that. Sunday, she just pretty much took it easy and slept most of the day. And then this week in particular, she's off, I think, starting tomorrow, or she might have to do a little bit of light work throughout the day. I'll have a bit of a light day tomorrow because I've been working all this week getting all my stuff in a good position. So tomorrow will be a little bit light. And then we're both off from Friday through the next week.
Nice.
So looking forward to that, and we're going to be going up to Oklahoma this coming weekend. I don't know exactly how long we're staying there, but that's our plans, at least for the immediate of like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then we'll connect with my family the following weekend around that time. But yeah, it's been kind of a trying situation for her, but she's back home. Everything we're nice and able to relax and have some vacation time before she heads back out in like the middle of January. She's going to go on that's when her next trip is. As far as me on the gaming front, I really haven't been playing anything. Quite frankly, I haven't had much time because in and amongst gathering up the last little bits that we're trying to do for Christmas stuff and trying to work ahead a little bit to make it to where the tail end of this week was a little bit lighter. Haven't really done much. I mean, the only thing that I have done is I have done Marvel Snap on my phone or whatever.
Right.
In fact, I was really excited today because they've been dropping updates and whatnot, and they have this winter thing going on. But I was at Sam's with Stacy. She's grabbing what she wants. I'm just a cart pusher. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I'm on the phone. I finished some match, and I turned by accident. I'm not even like paying attention. I just happened to turn my phone when I was reaching for something, and Marvel Snap rotated on my phone.
Oh,
I'm like,
Really?
now, it was just vertical, which doesn't make sense at all on your phone. It expanded the background, kind of like it basically was the PC UI currently. So the background is extended, and it's just, but it gave me hope. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe when they introduce this PC widescreen UI, it'll also extend to mobile where if you want to, you can use it that way.
Yes.
And I even like screenshot it. I posted it in the Discord like, oh my gosh, look at this. This is awesome. And then I got home after we got finished with all the Sam's Club stuff and tried it on my iPad, and it doesn't do that. Like, what?
Right,
Why would it do it on my phone and not my iPad? I get my phone back out. I can't recreate it. It won't do it again. So I was like,
Really?
it must have been some weird glitch. But I have like photos, screenshot proof in the Discord
What the
that
heck?
it did it. And I didn't, like when it did it, I turned it back and then I turned again. I did it like 3 or 4 times. I was like, oh my gosh, like this isn't a one-off weird thing where my phone just wigged out. No, it's actually doing this. But I guess it was a weird glitch or something because it hasn't happened
man.
again. So that was a little bit of a bummer because I thought that I was like, oh my gosh, I figured out a thing that nobody's talked about.
That's
And it turns
right.
out the reason nobody's talking about it is because it doesn't actually exist. It only exists in that weird space and time when weirdness was happening for me.
Right.
That's crazy.
But other than that, yeah, I haven't been able to really play much. Hoping to play something next week, but honestly, with the travel mixing in, it probably won't be anything else but more Marvel Snap, if anything at all. So
There you have it. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to the best
Right.
of us, Chris.
It does.
To the best of us. Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what's been going on with you, homie?
Well, Sarah and I had a nice weekend. My cousin Jim and his wife Jenny. He's a year older than I am, and their youngest kid just went off to college this year.
Oh, no.
So
wow.
they are able to do couple stuff again.
whatever they want.
Because they were very active in sports and stuff, and so they were always at events and games and what have you. So we went on a little double date night with them, and it was such a nice time. I didn't even realize until we got home that not one time did Sarah pull up her phone to look at the dogs on the webcams, and not one time did Sarah or any of us take a picture. That's what a nice time we had, is that we were just
great.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Great.
And I told Sarah as we pulled in, I was like, realize we didn't even check on the dog one time. And she was like, oh, I feel bad now. I was like, no, I'm saying
no, that's
great,
good.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
It was a really, really nice time. Gaming wise, it's been a lot of fun. Overwatch 2. I hop in pretty much every day now just to get my dailies. I can usually get my dailies. I play 3 games and you only need to get 3 dailies in order to get them checked off. I think there's usually like 8 to choose from. You only need to get 3 to get your fulfillment. And I don't know how long it's going on for, but they're doing a little Christmas gift. They're offering a really cool Bastion Gingerbread skin, and it comes with a candy cane charm for 1 coin, 1 in-game coin.
I did see that.
So
nice.
I thought that was pretty cool. So I definitely grabbed that up. Yes,
I saw some article. I didn't get to read the entire thing, but it was basically talking about the Bastion gingerbread skin and how it only costs 1 coin. And it's causing these problems. It's like, causing problems? What problems is it causing? And they were saying because there's no way, obviously, to buy like 1 coin,
right?
And it only comes in increments of a 0. They're like, if you buy it, your allotment is always going to be at 99 now. So, like, for instance, if you go and you buy, like, you want to buy a skin and it's 1,000, you can't buy the 2, or if it's 2,000, you only buy 1,000. Like, you're still going to be 1 short, so you're going to be forced to buy more on top of it. It's going to have this weird. You're going to have this weird thing that you can't get out of. Because I was almost like, I don't know if I even have a coin, because I'm just not sure. But I thought about logging in. I was like, oh, okay, I'll grab the Bastion skin that's super cheap. But now I'm like, since I don't even play him anyways when I do play. Yeah, I'll just stick out of it. But I did think it, at least from the pictures. I haven't logged in to see it, but from the pictures, I thought it looked good.
It is funny just because in the first iteration, much like Pokemon, I had to collect every skin that came out, whether I played the character or not. And it's so funny how as soon as they charge money for it, it's like, I don't have that anymore.
That's funny.
I can, I play the mess out of Sombra and I see the new Sombra skin. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I did not $15 cool, but that's pretty cool.
Right.
It's very easy to say no now.
It's all right, cool.
Exactly. Sarah and I have been playing through a little bit of Destiny 2 on the side. Marvel Snap for me, of course, like the rest of us. I have an addiction.
Yes. What's your collector level at? I think you've probably passed me by now.
My collector level is 2644.
Shoot, I wasn't ready. 2644?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be way past me. Let's see. Oh, it's still opening. Tim, are you opening yours?
It to see
Yep. Hang on.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah, it's weird. That weird time when I was just in the Sam's Club. That must be the Bermuda Triangle or something.
You passed me up. I'm 2583.
Oh, snap. And I just last night upgraded a bunch of cards.
Okay, so I've stopped upgrading cards in batch. So I think that's why. I'll talk about it when it's my turn. Sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm 1108.
I understand that because sometimes one of the missions is upgrade so many cards. So I usually don't upgrade them. I usually kind of save them for when I get that mission.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So how many of those blue credits do you have right now?
Right now I've got 2,200.
2,200? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I have 4,300.
And I think at least, and I don't know if this changed when the game came out, but during the beta, I think it was at 5,000, I capped out. It was like, you can't collect these until you spend more.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I think it was 5,000. I finished that game High on Life by the Rick and Morty creator.
Oh, please tell me you enjoyed it.
Rick and Morty.
So much fun.
Right? I've been watching TikTok, just little videos of it, and it's like, this is almost making me want to get an Xbox at this point. Or come on, bring it to PlayStation at some point, but it is hilarious. Please tell me more.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's so wrong, but man, it's so much fun. I love hearing the voices. I love being like, that's Kevin from Kids in the Hall, and just things like that.
But
and,
just for the parents out there, it's filthy,
Oh, no,
right?
no, no.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to
not
make
for
sure.
the kids at all.
No, don't be
all.
fooled by the appearance, the cartoony appearance. This is not for kids. Yeah, it's got its rating for a reason.
Exactly.
But for us adults, this game
It's awesome. It's amazing.
it's so much fun. It's just so silly and so stupid, and it's fun to have just had a game that's like. It's kind of like when Ace Ventura came out. Like this is ridiculous, but like
Absolutely.
in the best way.
Irreverent.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's just silly nonsense for the sake of silly nonsense, and it was a lot of fun. I am still every morning. I usually wake up about an hour before I work out and kind of like start to wake up and recharge and what have you. And in that hour every day, I play Midnight Suns. And really enjoying the heck out of that game. I'm really having a good time. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And today I was able to jump into some more Evil West, which is a lot of fun.
Are you loving that?
I am loving it. It's a lot of fun, and it's very. I had to, for one of the bosses, I had to lower the difficulty from normal to story. But it was a tough. Even then, it was still tough. But it's so much fun. I've compared it to Outriders. I don't know how many times, just because it's not the best animation wise, and it's not the best writing or VO wise. But the vibe is cool, the look is cool, and the powers are so much fun.
Oh,
And
that's what does it, man.
That's what does it. You just feel amazing. And I have no idea how far I am in the game, but I'm still getting new powers and new guns and finding new things. And that's been a lot of fun. So it's been a really, it's been a good week of gaming, that's for sure.
I love that.
That's so great, man. That's awesome.
Good for you, Ed. Good for
Yeah,
you.
man. Mr. Patel, sir.
Yeah.
How have you been doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
We are doing good over here. Again, I'm turned up, but I'm feeling good, which has been nice because I haven't felt good in a while.
Yeah.
So back to just feeling good, feeling really blessed. We've had some really great time with friends lately.
Good.
Just with all that I've had going on, just like some prayer group stuff and getting together and just being with friends and calling on the Lord and just, and then sitting around for conversation afterwards. And it's really, I've actually thought about you guys a lot too, like just how lucky I am to have the people in my life that I have in my life. And I know that maybe that's a little bit of an end of the year sentiment. Yep. I knew that wasn't quite right.
Close.
Sentiment, but
a little dirty, but
yeah, exactly.
Gotta shake it out, dump it out. Yeah,
wash my hands
really
off.
rinse it real well, and you can get out the sediment.
And so, I'm just feeling really blessed by my community and the people that
That's
are around
awesome.
us.
Love it.
And that love us so well. And it really challenges me to love others better. If only the internet could understand the power of actual love, I think we could really get some things done around here. So anyway, I'm floating off that. Just God's people have been just so beautifully put in my life, and I'm just so grateful.
Love it.
Kids are doing good. We're on Christmas break. We went and looked at Christmas lights tonight after dinner, and so that was really fun. And I was encouraging my daughter to watch Matilda, the new Matilda movie, because she's huge into like singing song movies, and it looks like there's a great bit of dancing in that one.
Heck yeah.
Musicals. Musicals. Yeah, musicals.
Singing song movies.
I've never seen Matilda, but
Singing
I didn't
song
know,
movies.
so I didn't know if like Matilda was a musical or if this one was just like a Disney singing and dancing, type movie. So that was for her. But as far as me and Jenny, we've got some decisions to make.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We are happy to help.
So this is our last one, and as you guys know, I'm a little bit of a sucker, so we'll have one more next week because I'll be trying to stay in the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
But this is our last decision before Christmas.
Okay.
As far as some of these
got to make this one count.
Take it home.
Christmas movies to watch. Okay. these are very, very different movies.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
I'm
I
gonna
like
need
'em
you
already.
guys' help. Yeah.
Yes.
Georgia is a young woman and the manager of a high-end hotel that attracts guests of all kinds, including heartbroken singles and infamous pop stars and a European ex-prince who recently left his throne.
Of course.
They're all looking to escape from their everyday lives and come to the hotel as a sanctuary over the holidays. Georgia's work and personal life become entangled when she is caught between the hotel chef Luke and the sophisticated ex-prince staying at the hotel during the holidays. 2022's Hotel for the Holidays.
Oh, darn. I kind of miss the more punny names.
Was the Home for the Holidays? Hotel for the Holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small pun, but it's
Okay.
there. Okay, y'all.
All right, here we go.
Oh, I already like this one.
You've probably heard of this one.
Okay.
And I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
Bring
Jack
it.
Frost 4.
Bring it.
Don't, let us decide. Don't.
Okay,
that's
yes,
right.
yes. I'm sorry. I'm
Don't
just
sway
saying.
us.
I'm saying. For me,
Sure.
this is not you. Okay, here we go.
I like it already.
Thank you. In this Christmas horror parody,
Done. That's the one.
in a sleepy mountain town, Cindy's parents are murdered and her Christmas stolen by a
By
bloodthirsty
the murder.
green figure in a red Santa suit.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But when the
yeah.
ravenous, Christmas-hating creature begins to terrorize the town and threaten to ruin the holiday, Cindy finds a new purpose: trapping and killing the monster.
Yeah.
2022's The Mean One.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be the mean one.
It's gotta be the
that's
mean
obviously
one.
a,
The Mean One.
a Grinch adaptation.
Yep.
So The Mean One over Hotel for the Holidays?
Yeah, you're gonna have
Yeah.
to snuggle up to Jenny on that one. I'm sorry,
I
dude.
knew you guys were going to choose that one.
Of course we were. Of course we were.
Georgia didn't have a chance.
Not even that
Yeah.
hotel. Nope, not at all.
Yeah,
Checking out.
Sorry,
I know.
Luke.
After Jenny making me watch all those Gilmore Girls, I should be watching anything with a hotel in it anyway.
That's right.
They run a bed and breakfast or something.
That's right.
Ridiculous. Yeah, sorry, Luke. Okay. So on the gaming front, it's been a little different for your boy.
Ooh, do tell.
So yes, I've gotten a eensy weensy bit of God of War in.
Okay.
But if you guys remember, right after we recorded our show last week,
Yeah.
me and Jenny were on the fence about heading to Indianapolis to go to the Pacers Golden State Warriors game.
Oh, that's
Yes.
At Chris's suggestion, we ended up making the trip.
Good.
It was awesome. It was
Awesome.
much needed. It was too short.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Bless you.
That's staying in.
Yep.
It was much needed. It was a great game, except for the fact that Steph Curry got hurt at the end of the third quarter. But by the time he had gotten hurt, he had already put out 38 points. So he was,
Wow.
he was going off. He had 38 points by
Oh
the
my
end of the
gosh.
third quarter, and then it came down to almost a buzzer beater. It almost went to overtime. It was like it was a
that's
really great game. So it was just really fun to watch everybody do their thing. Draymond Green got thrown out of the game for being ridiculous, and
Being
so it was
Draymond
just,
Green?
exactly. So it was a lot of fun. And while I was in Indy, I just happened to search Indy's Facebook marketplace
Okay.
and found a kid selling a brand new Steam Deck for less than the price on the shelves.
Really?
And so I went ahead
Air
and got
quotes,
me a
because they're not actually sold at retailers, right? Can you
they're not
only get them through
yeah,
the?
I'm just saying at
Yeah,
retail
but
price.
I,
yeah.
when you
Right.
when you showed it or sent me that message, I was like, wait, maybe they are sold at retailers, and I just don't know.
No,
that.
he just
Okay.
he had just brought it to me straight from like the UPS guy, so it's still in the box and
Wow.
his
Oh my
address all
gosh.
over it. And so, man, I got a Steam Deck and I have been loving it.
Yeah.
Nice.
getting into, little games I wouldn't have played. I texted Ed the other day. I was like, was Hitman 2 always this hard? So I dove back into Hitman 2 just because I don't think ever got out of the second level. And I'm still not.
Oh,
and
wow.
So slow going.
Man. And so that's been a tough one. And so I'm dabbling in that. Mm-hmm. Dabbling in remote play. So the God of War I did play was from the bed with the the PS5 back out here in the shed, hardwired.
Yeah.
And so that's been okay. There's some fights. Most fights I can get in and out of, but like some of those more bossy fights,
Yep.
just that eensy weensy bit of lag it will get you. And so it's hard to pull off.
So does the remote play work, or is there an app for it on the Steam OS, or did you put Windows on it?
There's an app that does it, but it's like in the Linux side of the Steam Deck. It's not in like the Steam store, but like there's desktop mode and there's game mode in on the Steam Deck. Game mode is pretty much just a skinned, makes it easy to find your games. Then you can go to desktop mode, and that's pretty much like it's running off of Linux, and Linux has an app where you can do remote play with your PS5, and that's what I'm using.
All right.
And it works flawlessly. The buttons all match up.
Oh, nice.
The only thing that it's missing is like the PlayStation button that's in the middle of it, but you can like map a button you're not using. It's got, Chris held one the other day, like it's got a bunch of buttons all over the place, the Steam Deck. And so, but I've gotten sucked into this little game called Vampire Survivors.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
Getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is fun. It's on Game Pass if you want to try it for free. I bought it on Steam because a buddy of mine told me about it. I think it was $5. And man, it's one of those like 8-bitty games, but like is like really deep somehow. And so I've been really having fun with that.
Good.
And that is what has been going on over here. And Marvel
great,
Snap
man.
and Tim, come play your freaking wars on Clash Royale, please.
Oh, yeah, I need to. Sorry.
Just come do the weekly things and then bounce.
Okay.
And then come back.
I will.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched it since I downloaded Marvel.
I know. I'm kicking people out the clan, and
I'm
you're the
about
only
to
one
get
that's like more than a month, and I'm like, well, I can't kick Tim. It's Tim.
I mean, you could just text me and I'll rejoin. I'll jump on it this week. Don't worry. I got you. I got you.
All right. That sounds good.
Oh, that's really funny.
Router,
Yes, sir.
you got it.
Yes.
Well, let's do it.
Man, this is super easy. There's only 3 releases this week. We got Mortal Shell
bet.
for the Switch. We got Them's Fightin' Herds Texas DLC on all consoles. And
Sounds like Texas.
Yeah, right. And we have Naraka Blade Point for the Xbox One.
All right.
Back to you in the studio.
Hey.
That's all I got.
Nice. Chris, I'm gonna have you run it today. I had a story,
Okay.
but it's so lame that I don't even feel like bringing it up.
Well, I mean, this first one's kind of interesting in that when it came through, I was like, I don't remember, maybe we talked about it, but I don't remember hearing that this was a possibility, so that's interesting. The second one's just kind of more like oh, okay, interesting, and then you move on kind of thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
So this first one is Fortnite maker Epic Games
This is crazy, by the way.
They're going to be paying a
Yeah.
combined $520 million in both fines and refunds under an agreement reached with the Federal Trade Commission. So the settlement is in concerns to violations on the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act of 1998, or COPPA. And then the refunds come out to about $245 million. The fine is $275 million. So basically, the FTC chairwoman, she kind of let out a statement, and she said, Epic used privacy invasive default settings and deceptive interfaces that tricked Fortnite users, including
Wow.
teenagers and children.
Wow.
and then went on to say that protecting the public and especially children from online privacy invasion and dark patterns is the top priority of our commission. And essentially, she was kind of making this statement to say, look, the FTC, a lot of these things have switched to kind of falling underneath us, and this is kind of showing that, look, we actually have teeth. We're going to go after these things. Because the FTC in the past has kind of been like the FTC, whatever, and then nothing really kind of came of it kind of thing. So this is kind of, unfortunately for Epic Games, I mean, because when you hear just the way that it's worded, and then the violation that they did is like in the Which Act, it sounds pretty bad. But when you really get in on the nuts and bolts of it, it's like, would any gamer have done that thing not really thinking, oh, this is going to be used in a nefarious way kind of thing? I don't really know. But basically, the FTC is kind of saying like, nope, we're not letting this kind of stuff fly anymore. We're issuing fines. We're doing things like this. So 500 now, granted, Epic, and especially just with Fortnite alone, makes billions of dollars. So 520 million's not like,
in the bucket.
It's not insane. But it's also
still
nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at by any means.
Did they give an example of what it was that was done? Like what was it that they were doing that?
So here's kind of like a little bit of what the FTC alleged prior to this, and it wasn't that they were found guilty. They came to an agreement, like a settlement on it.
Right.
So, and I don't know. I haven't seen specifically, but it was probably one of those things like, we don't admit any wrongdoing, but we'll pay this thing. I would assume it was something like that. But they were saying that the aspect of COPPA that they violated was they included gathering kids' personal information without their parents' consent.
Yikes.
And default settings that matched children and teenagers with strangers, resulting in incidents of harassment, bullying, sexual coercion, and other kinds of harm.
Really? Wow.
So that's kind of what the heavy hitting aspect of what they're accusing them of.
Right.
And then there's a couple of other more minor things, at least in comparison to that.
Wow.
So,
sheesh.
Now, I don't know exactly when it is they have to pay this, and the refunds and all that stuff is supposed to be going through. I would assume sometime in 2023. But yeah, it's. Do you guys remember like word of them even being in this?
No
situation, like litigation, if you will. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but I don't remember reading this. But we also go over so much news. Like I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, last thing I remember is them being in trouble with Apple. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the last thing I remember. A big, but like for them to actually, and again, I know it's not settled, so it's not like they lost.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're getting told that they have to pay $520 million, and then the FTC turn around and using 200 something of it to give back to these families. And there's like some way you can sign up for that, right, Chris? Did you see that in the story at all? When I read this story somewhere else, and it's somewhere. So like, if you and your kids play Fortnite, please. I mean, obviously this story will be in the show notes, but go figure out how to get your name in the pot for some of this money that they're about to dole back out, because it's going to be a bunch of money that they're about to dole back out.
Crazy.
Never wished I played Fortnite more to get my $5. No.
Yeah, to get your $5.
My free $5.
Exactly right. That's funny. What else you got, brother?
The other news that I have is we got word that there is going to be another Tomb Raider game, which is not all that strange. I mean, you would kind of expect that. It's a popular franchise. But what is a little bit different is that Crystal Dynamics' game is going to be published by Amazon Games.
Yeah.
So that's interesting crazy. Because if you remember, I think that it was IDOS, or actually, hang on, it was the Embracer Group owned the intellectual properties to Tomb Raider and Deus Ex and Thief and a couple of other things, and they let go of those. So Crystal Dynamics is able to go and say like, hey, who wants to publish this game? And Amazon Games was the one who stepped up and said, yeah, we'll take that. And they're basically partnering with them and helping to fund the development of this game. They did make mention that this kind of when they announced that Amazon was going to be the one publishing this game, they also went on to say like, hey, this game's in super early development. We're basically just letting you know it's happening, and Amazon is our big partner for this. So there's not really anything else to report really other than that news. But that in and of itself is definitely a big shift from how things have been in the past.
I'm kind of all for it. I think that's great.
I know they didn't say what platforms it'll be on, but at first when I heard Amazon, I was a little afraid just because so far all of their games have been PC only.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I assume this would come out for consoles as well, wouldn't it? You guys think?
Yeah, it was worded somewhere on here. I can't find the actual quote. Oh, actually, here it is. It says, so the untitled follow-up to 2018's Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be a multi-platform game.
Oh, okay. There you go.
This described as a single-player narrative adventure and continues more
Well, because
story.
Amazon's not the one making it.
Yeah.
Right? They're just the one publishing it.
Okay, right.
Yeah, because you're right, Ed. I mean, all the things that they've made were PC only.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Tim, what do you think? You kind of had a bad taste left in your mouth from the last Tomb Raider. Are you glad to be getting new life? Or
I'd like to see.
It sounds like it's the same people.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, if it's a better story, better everything, basically. Then
right.
I'm kind of all for it. I've always had a soft spot for it. I love the franchise, and the first game the first and second game were really great. I really enjoyed them. So this one just didn't resonate with me, and I'm definitely down.
If I remember right, and I could be wrong, oops me if I am, but I for some reason in my head I'm thinking that when they were making the last Tomb Raider that we kind of weren't fans of, I felt like they took a big part of the team that was working on that, because then all of a sudden they got Marvel's Avengers, and they were like, oh snap, you guys go work on Marvel's Avengers. So I felt like they moved their A team over to Avengers, and I don't know. How, if that would have affected how much it did affect the Tomb Raider game at all, but maybe her hair would have been wet when she came out of water, and I don't know.
I know that's right. Chris, I forget what your history is with these Lara Croft games.
I'm not really a big fan of the reboot. I played the first one, and I thought it was fine. I don't honestly.
And that was probably the best of the three.
I don't remember if I actually beat it. I got like at least 75% of the way through. I think that I beat it, but I can't say 100% sure. But the second one, it wasn't a bad game. It just didn't really grab me much. Sure. So when the second one came around, I was like, I'm gonna steer clear. And then I never even dabbled with the one that Tim was not a fan. Well, most people were not a fan of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't jump into this one. I'm open to being tantalized and wanting to play it. So
there you go. Yeah, I think I don't even remember if I played the second one. I know I didn't play the third one just because from hearing you guys talk about it, hearing Tim talk about it specifically, it was like womp womp, and then seeing videos, I was like, ooh, womp womp. And so it was like Ed said, like because they had her coming out of water in one of the commercials, and you were like, did they play this in reverse? Because she not wet.
That's right.
So at least it didn't look like it. And so it's just
comes out full makeup, hair done, curls, ready to go.
Her did.
Got her hair did.
And so I thought I'm glad she's getting new life though. I'm glad it's getting published by Amazon. I hope that this adds money to their, not that Amazon needs the money, but to their department to further do things in the gaming space, because I think that we all need it being pushed forward, kind of like the FTC is talking to about Microsoft and Activision right now, like, trying to at least say, no, we need the competition. I do think we need the competition. I really do think it's healthier, and that gamers win in the end when we have a bunch of people vying for our dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I think New World did pretty well, but I really want that studio to get I just want them to get a good solid hit out of,
get going.
Yeah.
Totally. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Edward.
Yes, sir.
It's already your turn.
Look at that. Hey, over on YouTube, Married to the Games YouTube channel, new this week, Pick Gabe's Christmas Movie 2022 Part 3.
That's right.
Yeah, baby.
And the Epic Game Store has been giving away mystery games. By the time they aren't announcing them, they just pop in. By the time that this comes out, the one that's out right now will not even be there anymore. So they have been giving out some good mystery games. Lego Journey is the one that's on there right now. A really cute little game. But by the time you hear this, it'll probably be too late.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
So for my other Steam people out there, you know what I'm saying? Because they got that Epic launcher you can get on there too. Doc.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question, and last week was no different. And go ahead and put us on the speaker and turn us up, because we asked you, what do you want for Christmas or any holiday you're celebrating where gifts are given this time of year?
Yep.
Yes.
Cover our
Fair
bases. Not try to paint anybody in a corner.
No.
Over on Twitter, DandyMan247X. I just want to see the smile on my children's faces as they rip open their gifts and the safe delivery of our third child in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, there you
snap.
go.
There we go, baby. That's going to be a New
Congratulations.
Year's baby out here.
That's right.
Congrats. The dude at Cody Harlow 1. My favorite quote I've heard is, quote, "Don't worry about what's under the tree. It's who you get to be around the tree with."
Love it.
And that's what it's all about. But I guess a good gaming chair would be awesome too.
Yeah.
For
Sure.
when I sit around the tree with
When
my
I sit with everybody around the tree.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Matthew Brown at M_Brown78. This time of year, I most want to spend time with friends and family. That being said, I really want a PS5.
There you
Hey,
go.
all right.
Merry Christmas, guys, and thanks for doing what you do and making the community feel like family.
Aw.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Chules at the Chules. PSN gift cards.
Sure.
All right. That's easy.
Right to the point, baby. Over on Facebook, Mark 2. Seriously, the best gift would be a few hours to play some video games. And I think my twins just broke something as I took time to type this.
There you go.
No.
Brian Niebel, he's swinging for the fences. A pair of monitors for my computer and gift cards for video games, and maybe a PS5 while you're at it.
Wow.
There you go.
I get it. Caitlin Chelsoy. Well, I scored a PS5 God of War edition, which I
Hey.
should be picking up today at some point in time. Wish granted.
Nice.
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jason Frederick Raycraft. The quote-unquote realistic want is God of War for the PS5. The unrealistic wish is an octave mandolin.
Ooh.
Sadly, I've never seen an octave mandolin in Japan.
I have not seen one in the States.
I have not seen one ever.
Yeah. I have just now seen one on Google.
There you go.
There you go.
Casey Joy Shaw. The joke is that I want a waffle maker because my husband said that I don't need one when we were making our wedding registry. But what I want most really is the time spent with family.
Perfect.
Destiny Stevens, a Steam Deck.
There you go.
There you go. Hey,
I'm
there's
right
some
there
random kid in Indianapolis selling them off the UPS truck.
Yep. Fresh.
Is that how? Did I understand that story correctly?
No, you have missed some major details.
Okay.
He's like taking off his brown shirt. He's
That's
like,
right.
putting on just normal. Hey, I'm just a normal old
I'm
kid.
just a
Want to buy
normal
my Steam
kid.
Deck?
Oh,
Yeah.
this
That's
fell
not
off
my
the back
truck.
of the truck. Oh, how convenient. Here you
No,
go.
I
kid.
wasn't in the UPS truck. I was in the Charger, the Dodge Charger.
That's right.
I got a truckload of mystery boxes here. $5 a box. You get what you
Yeah,
get.
exactly.
Don't be
Yeah.
upset.
That's awesome.
Greek gamer Nick Huntress. I've been wanting to have my own quote unquote office for gaming now. Now that we finally moved into our new home,
Hey.
I've always wanted an arcade 1-up cabinet, specifically the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet. I love that game and all the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games.
There you go.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm. I want some of those too. They're small, like the OG arcade guy in me hates how small they are.
Yeah.
But I love that they're affordable and that they're even making them that people
That's
can
great.
get them. I've seen some
Right.
as cheap as like $200.
Oh, wow.
You're like, oh man, to piece your own together is way more than that. Bernabe El Roches Butter.
Love it.
I love it when Michael Buffer comes in here to do stuff.
That's right.
I know. I can't say his line or I'll owe him 75 cents.
That's right.
I want my permanent residency approved.
Ooh.
Still waiting on that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man.
That's been so long.
You deserve it.
Yeah,
Maybe
man.
walk in there and tell them you deserve it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell them that the Married to the Games guy said you deserve it.
Yeah. Tell them the Chubby Ninja said you deserve it.
Yep.
Lord Zukor, I dropped a strong hint that I saw a copy of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze at Walmart, and my wife went shopping at Walmart the next day. Fingers crossed.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Nathan Dugas. I hinted to my wife, i.e. told her, that if she had no other ideas, I would like God of War Ragnarok on PS4. If I do not get that, I would love to get through a game or two over my 2-week vacation.
There you go.
Oh, that's fair enough.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
Nope.
No.
Damage control. Getting a real rucksack that holds my 30-pound plate in place. Right now, I have a regular backpack and the weight slides around while I work out.
Oh.
And only Ed understood that. I'm just kidding. I've heard of a
and
rucksack.
only damage will do it.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you guys so much for answering the question of the week. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, like Ed said, YouTube.com/Married to the Games. And of course, you can come to MarriedToTheGames.com where you can listen to Ed sing.
Thought you froze.
Good episode we have ever released. And if you like to throw $1 in the tip jar, you totally can over at patreon.com/MTTG.
Zoink, Scoob.
And Eduardo.
Rate us on Apple Podcasts. Leave a review. Leave a star rating. And if you do, after you write it up and everything, you'll feel turned up as well.
Hey.
Like me. I
Like
feel turned
me.
up.
That's right.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Well, let's get into some questions.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I broke it. I think I broke something.
Little screwdriver in there. Just ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing a little oil won't fix.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
good. Beer Money Vic over on Discord. Any fun gaming memories that are holiday related? Playing console games with cousins, dominoes, or board games?
Yeah, my dad, I think, bought me what was it? The Sega Genesis with Altered Beast for Christmas, and it scared the mess out of me so much that we had to return it.
Wow.
Right.
That's right.
And then I went back on this podcast as a grown man and beat it because I was like, "You're not gonna take me down, Altered Beast."
That's
That's
awesome.
right. Chris, you have any gaming related Christmas memories?
I mean, we got our SNES and our N64 both were Christmas gifts.
Ooh.
So after getting it on the SNES, it was playing Street Fighter 2 just the whole next day and couple of days, as you know, as me and my siblings. And then when it was the N64, I think the only game we had was what it came with was Mario 64. I know that we played a ton of Wave Race, but I don't think we got it at Christmas. I think it was a little ways after that we got Wave Race.
What a game.
Honestly,
Wave Race was so
Wave
good.
Race coming to the Switch almost made me get the Nintendo Online again.
Wow.
Because I
Oh,
wanted
really?
to replay it, but I was like, you know what? But I'm not going to pay for it for more than like a month or two, and it's going to go away. So I was like, I'll just
Right.
wait and see if they drop it where I can just buy it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah, I was about to say they're not going to do that, but that's okay. Ed?
Yeah, I think our 2600 and our NES were Christmas gifts. After Sarah and I were married, we got the Wii and an Xbox 360 as Christmas gifts throughout the years. So some nice Christmas gifts for sure.
There you go. Tim?
Yeah, we did. When we got the Wii, we brought it up, and this was when my in-laws were still living in New Jersey, so we brought it up and we had everybody play it.
Oh, that's awesome!
And it was a lot of fun. Everyone was like, "This is really great," and so it was. It's fun. It's fun to do that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I love that.
Time. Yep,
that's great.
Jared Orr, what was your favorite 2022 movie? Mine has to be Top Gun Maverick, but shout out to the Batman and Everything Everywhere All at Once for being great too.
Oh, I heard that was really good. I never saw it.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
So little this year.
I know.
Yeah. What have I seen? Probably. Ooh, man, I don't know. The last couple movies I've seen were a little bit disappointing, and so they weren't my favorites.
Man, I can't even
Chris,
think of a
yeah.
movie.
I mean, I saw Maverick a couple weeks ago when it was on something. No, actually, we rented it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should
remember.
be out
I
on
thought it was-
digital now. On
It's
Paramount,
been
isn't
out.
it?
Yeah, it's. Well, I didn't watch on that. I rented it from Vudu or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You want I want to say in October or something. So I mean, that was pretty good, but I don't know that I've seen another 2022 movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Shoot. Ed, would you say Spirited maybe?
Spirited was really good. I like that. I liked Lightyear. That was good.
Oh, I didn't see Lightyear. Okay.
And I'm excited to see it comes out, I think, in a few days on HBO. I forget what it's called. It's the spiritual successor to Knives Out with Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Plays
Oh,
the same.
Glass Onion.
Glass
Yes.
Onion.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see that.
Yes.
I
am
thought part of
too.
it was already out.
Maybe it is.
I think it comes out Friday.
Well,
Okay.
more of it comes out, I think. I think the rest of it or something like that. I thought it was out already. Anyway, that's awesome. Yeah, Glass Onion. Yeah. But it's not a movie this time around, right? It's a
I
show,
thought it was.
episodic show.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I thought it was a movie.
Man, I could be really wrong about all this.
I thought it was
All I know is Knives Out was great. That was
That's a 2022 film.
Yeah, film. Yep.
Yeah.
all right.
Yep. You're right. That's
I
right.
think I might agree with Jared. I think I liked Top Gun Maverick because it was just a great throwback to good old fashioned 80s movies, basically. And like I remember going to see the original Top Gun with my father, and my brother in the movie theater, and then coming back, and it's like you never left. It was really cool. I really enjoyed the nostalgia part of it a lot too, and the story was just in line with any other Top Gun, and I really enjoyed that.
Good.
I think. Yeah.
There you go. I'm gonna go with even though I had my problems with it, I'm gonna go with Wakanda Forever.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Good.
I was going to ask you about that too. I still haven't seen it yet, and I really
When
want
you
to.
said the last few I saw were disappointing, I was like, oh, he must not have liked Wakanda Forever.
Well, I had some issues with it, but that'll probably be my favorite movie that I've seen that was 2022.
Yeah.
Nice.
Outside of unless you count there's some gaming. There's some comedian things I saw this year that I thought were really funny. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
I like it. Toofus. The first part of this question is for Ed. The second part will be for everyone, and it's about supporting streamers on Twitch and YouTube. So, Ed, as a streamer, what's the best way to financially support a streamer from your perspective? If I have $5 to spend, do you get more from a sub, or do you get the equivalent in bits? Or if the streamer has a Patreon, is it better to throw $1 in their tip jar?
I like it.
If you only have $5 to spend, like if you do a sub, Twitch takes part of that. If you do it in bits, you get all of that. The streamer gets all of that.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I did
didn't
not know
realize
that.
I don't get it. Twitch doesn't take anything out of bits.
Nothing. Yeah. it's
Wow.
All the
That
bits
is
go to the streamer.
interesting.
I honestly
I
don't even
love
know how the
that.
bit
Yeah.
stuff works.
The only difference really is a sub. If if it's not a Prime sub, you can just kind of set it and forget it. It'll just renew on its own. But if you've only got $5 to spend,
No, it makes you redo it each month.
No, if you don't have a Prime sub, it'll.
Oh, if you don't have a Prime sub, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, I've got the Prime sub, so that's
But
interesting.
The
I didn't
bits
know
go
that.
all to the go right to the streamer.
I had no idea.
For everyone else, what are some ways that you've shown support for streamers, whether it involved giving money or giving something completely different?
Yeah, I mean, I've jumped into streams and donated to, the causes that they might be doing at the time. I've done some personal, and then I've done some as a representative of Married to the Games. And then obviously, my Prime sub goes to Ed every month. That's how I remember.
If I'm in a stream and I get gifted a sub, a lot of times I'll give someone I'll kind of like pass it on, and I'll gift someone a sub in the same stream if it's kind of really popping and stuff like that.
Nice.
A lot of times I'll kind of pay
that's
it forward
cool.
like that.
I like that. Tim, you ever supported a streamer?
Oh yeah. I've got the Prime sub with Ed, and I love giving him bits whenever I get to jump on. Like during
Yeah,
your
you
stack
do.
up, I always like to see that number one. So I'll just whoever's has the most bits, I'm like, I'm taking them on. And
You do good with that.
I love doing that for
will
you,
agree
man,
with you
because
on
now that I know it goes directly to you, that's even more motivation to do it. But it's just a nod to appreciate what you do, man. Like I appreciate streamers, and I'll continue to support streamers, and especially when it comes to Extra Life and Stack Up, and that stuff is so important. And I love that
Yeah,
our
it really
community has rallied and done a lot of that stuff. So I'm all in for that stuff. But
Yeah,
you got
odd
bits
because,
coming now, man. Now that I know.
like when you buy the bits, Twitch takes part of that money, but when
Right.
you give the bits,
That's all you.
that all goes to the streamer. It's kind
That's awesome.
It's interesting. Yeah.
That's really cool.
That is good to know.
Chris, you support a streamer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just echoing what's already been said, but because it doesn't auto and I don't log into Twitch as often because I can't do it while I'm working, I a lot of times forget. And whenever I
It's easy
notice
to
that
do,
my Prime thing is like needing to be done, then I'll go in and I'll give it to Ed. So I try to stay consistent with that, but I know I miss some time or I fall behind at times. Honestly, I knew about the bits, but I've never looked into I don't even know how to do it. So I had no idea about the way that it works. So that's new. Now that I know that, I'm sure that will change in the future. And then during Extra Lives or whatever, I try to make sure that I go and participate in those as they happen, especially because they can happen, or stack ups or whatever the thing is going to be, because they can happen all year pretty much. So it's not like it's just around Christmas or just around fall or whatever. It's easy to kind of just hit them here and there because they are spread out a bit. So that makes it a little bit easier to participate with.
One of the best ways to support that doesn't cost anything is just go in and chat and say hi. I think that's
you're so good at that,
great
too.
thing to do. It means a lot.
Yeah, it's a good interaction. And then you usually end up talking to them for a while. They'll jump on if it's Overwatch or whatever. Yeah, it's great. The way that you interact with everybody, because you're constantly looking at the chat. I don't know how you do it.
Ed is so good.
Because I would be concentrating on the game, and there's probably I'd have to scroll back to see all the chat comments and everything. But you're right on top of it, man. It's pretty great. So.
It's only when Ed is getting sweaty in Overwatch. That's the only time I see him not look at the chat.
That's right.
When he's got that Overwatch face on.
Yep.
And
Ever
he's got
since
his lip tucked in.
I added that heart monitor to the.
It's hilarious. Yep. Yeah.
I hit 120 today, baby.
That's amazing.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
I love that.
That's good. All right, Facebook, Mike Doherty. All right, put your thinking caps on this one. Using characters from video games, put together the best barbershop quartet to go sing Christmas carols.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's great.
We might all need to choose some people. Okay. So we're going to go Kratos as the bass.
I was just going to say,
Yep.
Right. We'll go... Who you guys want to have is like the baritone? That's like right above.
Right above bass?
Yeah.
Drake, maybe?
Nathan Drake?
Nathan Drake?
Okay. We can go with him.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to think of... yeah.
Or Joel.
Yeah, let's go Joel.
Yeah, I like that, Ed. Yeah, Joel's
'cause
better.
Homeboy's an actual singer anyway.
It's
All right.
true.
Wait, what kind of group is this?
A barbershop quartet.
Oh, quartet. So okay, we're gonna jump to tenor and the soprano. So, the tenor. Let's go with like Ratchet.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go with Ratchet on the tenor.
Oh, who do you
And,
have for soprano?
Claptrap.
So,
Yeah,
go
you
clap
can do
trap.
that. You
Not
can do
bad.
that. That'll
Yeah.
work.
all the way up top.
I like that.
Oh, he's got a high voice.
I like it. Let's
Oh,
do
that's
that.
good. All right, cool.
Or you could do young Atreus because his voice is still pretty high.
Young Atreus, yeah, his voice
Yeah.
is high. Absolutely.
Oh, that's really good. Nice.
That's a good one, Edward.
Good question. All right, Chris, Travis P hooked you up with some dad jokes for Christmas edition.
Hey.
So we're
Oh.
gonna go right into this, and it's classic. What do you get
Good
when you
job.
cross a snowman with a vampire?
I don't know.
Frostbite.
Oh yeah, of course you
Yeah.
do. Of course you do.
Should have known that one. Should've known
What
that.
does Santa suffer from if he gets stuck in a chimney?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to try and guess it.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't know
stumped.
either.
Claustrophobia.
Oh, that's good.
Come on now, that's
Yeah.
good.
We
Yeah.
should have-
Okay,
one of us
okay.
should have got that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not mad. Not mad.
Honestly, Ed should have got that. 'Cause
Actually,
I feel like
absolutely
he's
right.
usually good at those kind of things.
Disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
All right, trust me, we got more. You're good. What do you call Santa when he stops moving?
Santa Paws.
There you go.
I was
Yeah.
What do snowmen eat for dessert?
Snow peas.
Frosting.
Close.
Iceberg lettuce.
Ice cream.
Close. Ice Krispies.
Oh, Ice Krispies.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
For
like that
dessert
one.
or for breakfast?
For dessert.
Yeah, you did say dessert.
Oh, if
He
said
did
Ice
say,
Krispies,
all right,
we
so
would've
that
got
threw
it.
you
Oh,
off.
it could be Ice Krispy treats.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
How do you help someone who has lost their Christmas spirit?
You'll
Kick him in the jollies.
Oh, I like that one. Close.
Exactly.
You
What
get
is
3
it?
ghosts to haunt them until they get terrified and
That's
get
right.
away.
Exactly.
That's right. Nurse them back to elf.
Ooh, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
What do you call an elf that runs away from Santa's workshop?
An LFUG?
Close.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Elf
Elf
sufficient.
is pretty good.
A rebel without a clause.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right, we got one more. What did Santa say when he stepped into a big puddle?
A big puddle. I don't know. What is it?
It must have rained, dear. That's good.
Chris.
Yeah, we got Chris on that one.
Yeah,
That's a good
as long as
Final
it
one,
gets
Travis
Chris.
B. Thank you, man. He says, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Hope you all have the very best holiday.
Thank you.
That was great,
Thanks, Travis.
He's bringing
That's awesome.
April into December. I love it.
Yeah, he is.
Cameron Terpstonus, now that Tim has finished Elden Ring using Fighting Cowboys videos, can we expect a cameo or interview on the podcast as a thank you for how many times his name was mentioned? That, my friends, is in the works. I will just say that. But I'm, yes, definitely in the works. So more to come on that. More to come on that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Chris Anderson, for each of the team, what's the goal for 2023? First non-gaming and then gaming.
Oh, this will kind of be like next week's.
You want to
question
hold
of the
that for
week.
next week? We can hold that for next week.
Yeah, we'll hold it for next week when we do our kind
Yeah.
of gaming. What we call them?
Resolutions?
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, our resolutions. The final question isn't really a final question, but it's from our boy at Mayhem Monkey. No question, just a Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 baby. That's awesome.
So that's awesome.
That's great.
Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. Merry Christmas. That was some good stuff. I like that barbershop quartet one. That was a good one.
That was fun.
Can you imagine
really
that
fun.
all to try and get them all singing? That'd be amazing. Claptrap would just be ad-libbing.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
That was good. I liked it a lot.
The question of the week for you guys, which we're not going to answer right now because we're going to talk about it all next week, as it being the last week of 2022. What's your games of the year? Let's do top 5, I think is what we usually do on the show. So run your top 5. Let us know your top 5 games of 2022, and we will discuss next week. I'm so excited to hear. I feel like this is going to be one of those years where like we're all over the place a little bit. There's some years where like our top 3 are always the exact same, but I feel like our top 3 won't all be the exact same. And so I'm excited to hear everybody's next week.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Episode 5, 3, 6 in the books. We so appreciate you guys being here. Happy holidays. I'm your boy, Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace!